Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Concealer Fest, and today I'm checking out, in the micro budget range from AOA Studio, the Flawless Liquid Concealer. Retails for $1.88. What do we have in here? I'm going to need Sherlock to help me out with the quantity, because I can't read it. 0.67 ounces or 20 milliliters. Comes in 9 different shades. I've got it in the lightest shade, L1. They do go all the way into deep shades. This description is, AOA Flawless Liquid Concealer brings a natural finish for spot treating or erasing flaws, scars, contouring, and highlighting. Weightless and moisturizing, it's perfect for drier areas of the face, under eyes, smile lines, under the nose, and more. It's like a second skin, moisturizing, blendable, weightless, anti-crease, non-toxic, and cruelty-free. They don't mention it being vegan, so I'm guessing there's probably, usually it ends up being beeswax, some kind of animal component in here. It's getting 4.53 out of 5 stars with 19 reviews. It's one of their newer products. At less than $2, let's take a look at how this concealer L1 swatches against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up is today's concealer from AOA Studio, the Flawless Liquid Concealer in shade L1. Second, I've got from NARS the Radiant Creamy Concealer in Vanilla. Third up is Maybelline Age Rewind in Fair. And last, I've got the concealer from Haus Labs in shade 12 Light Rosy. Alright, let's take a look at the applicator. Standard doe foot going on here. I've got a damp sponge, and I've also got my BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy. This is the A506. So we'll do a sponge and brush, see how this goes. Now I'm also testing, you know, they have a foundation in this format, and I missed it when I was shopping, and I'm trying out another one of theirs. Another new one, the Pure Complexion Liquid Foundation. So that is what I'm wearing on my face. Let's check out the sponge application here. Fresh pack of sponges. There is nothing better than a fresh pack of pawpaws. I love these pawpaw sponges. There's like not even a reason for me to buy any other sponges. These are like $1.25 a piece. I think they're even cheaper when you buy the bag. I can't remember. I think I paid $6 for this bag of 6 sponges. And they're brilliant. They're perfect. And they last forever. The only reason I throw them out is like, I'm like, oh, this one's old. Like they don't wear down. They don't break down. They live forever. And they wash out really well. And a portion of their proceeds are donated to animal rescue or something like that. Now I can't remember. Pretty light coverage with a sponge. It did soak up a bit of the product, but it looks very hydrated, which, you know me and my dry skin and my especially dry under eyes. Let's take a look at the brush side as far as coverage goes. I have surprisingly good luck with the AOA Studios line. I think it's Studio singular. I always make it plural, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And at their price point, I mean, you really can't beat it. All right. Yeah, the coverage is a little bit more with the brush. We're going to see what happens, because my first impression with the brush is that it looks like it might catch and cling to some of my finer lines here. I was watching a Wayne Goss video yesterday, not one of his newer videos, it was an older one, but where he was using Urban Decay's primer potion, like eyeshadow primer, to prime his under eye, and I don't know, I haven't tried it, but I probably will. Alright, that coverage looks nice. Let's try and even this out just a smidge. I think I prefer it with the brush. Because, you know, I got some purple happening in these troughs right here. Now, my under eye concerns are basically leaky capillaries, leaving blood down there inside underneath. Oh, I've had several of you ask what is up with Science Serum. You know, the Bright and Tight people. The Tight Eye, Bright and Tight, and Tight Eye. I haven't had an update from them since last May. I didn't have them in my most recent skincare update because last May I had noticed that they had been out of stock for a couple of months on everything. And I contacted them on Instagram and they did reply and said they're having supply chain issues. They're not sure when they're going to be able to get everything back in stock. Well, I mean, it's March now. It's been almost a year and there's still nothing. I've got one bottle left of my Bright and Tight and I've stopped using it, and I can tell because look how droopy my outer corners have gotten. But I'm kind of hoarding it because I'm afraid it's going to, what's the point of hoarding it? It's going to go bad. I should just use it. But yeah, I'm not confident that they're coming back. It's been almost a year. Yeah, so that's what happened to Bright and Tight and Science Serum. It seems that they are having trouble getting their ingredients. At least that's what they told me. All right, here we go. Yeah, coverage is all right. I'd call it light to medium. Let's zoom in so you can see what I'm seeing here. It feels really hydrating. It looks hydrating. It is showing lines just a little bit, so it's not really blurring them out. My concern is that as it dries down, I'm going to see the product on top of the skin in that liney area that I've got. And we'll see if that comes to fruition, but I feel like it's kind of already starting. So that would be my concern on this one. Because when I can see the concealer like dried on my skin, then that just like freezes lines in place and makes them more visible. And I feel like it makes the under eye look dry, even if it doesn't feel dry at all. So it's kind of starting to happen on my right eye, the non-nose ring side of my face. Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to dry down like that. It's kind of how the foundation dried down as well. But generally, we're in an okay coverage situation. We're in an okay hydration situation, at least starting out. We'll see how that continues. Let's check the time. I'm going to get my hair cut today. So you are going to see a totally different, well, not totally different, just shorter hair because I'm looking like a hippie. You just wait till you see how long my bangs are right now. It's insanity. 1:15 p.m. Let me go put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. Back with the AOA Studio Flawless Liquid Concealer. It did freeze my lines in place just a little bit, but not too much. So it still feels really hydrating. So we're going to roll with it. I'm not mad at it. And oh my god, I gotta get these bangs cut. Holy cow. Whew, they are in my eyeballs. But if I push them to the side, they look weird. Like, I was clipping them back yesterday. Like, weird. Good thing I'm getting my hair cut today. So I'm gonna go get my hair cut. Then I think I'm gonna go stop and get a sandwich. And then I'll come back tonight. We'll see how this wore. 7:51 p.m. That puts us like approaching the 7-hour mark. Let's take a look at how the AOA Studio Flawless Liquid Concealer held up. Not too bad. I would say that coverage-wise, it has started to dissipate a bit, but not bad. And the dry factor, the dry appearance factor, it never felt dry. It still actually feels very hydrated. But the appearance of it looking dry actually got a little better over time. So that I think is good. Let's zoom in so you guys can see what's going on here. There is some purple coming through. So the coverage has dissipated a bit. And in a couple little spots, you can kind of see product on top of the skin, which is that dryness factor that I was mentioning earlier. But I think most of that went away and sort of melted together with, I don't know, the body heat of my body. You can still see a couple of my deeper lines kind of frozen in place, but not terrible. And at this price point, not terrible is pretty good, right? So if I had to give a grade to the AOA Flawless Liquid Concealer, I'm going to go B-. I wish it was more smoothing, of course. I do wish it didn't have that dry top of the skin sitting there kind of a look to it. I just wish it was kind of more flexible and melded with the skin to make sort of a, you know, you want a nice like silky spandex finish. and not showing those lines. It did not settle into them, so I mean, I would say if you have maturing skin, you're probably okay. Dry skin, I think you're fine. It feels very hydrating. Like, I still feel moisture under my eyes. It just, because of the way it dries down, looks a little bit dry in spots. But I'm going to go B-. I'm going to go B-. I was on the border of a B, but I'm going to stick with B- because it's a tough concealer world out there. It's got some competition. But at this price point, it's one of those things where I would say definitely give it a try. Because if it works for you, that's a score. Like, that's money in the bank. That money saved, what is it? $1 saved is $1 earned. Isn't that how that goes? That's where we're going with this one. There you have it. Another episode of Concealer Fest is in the books. If you like concealer reviews, if you had fun with this one, give me a thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments what you would like me to pick up next. I keep a running list. The more people request things, the more likely I am to buy that thing, and I buy them whenever I can. So let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. Visit over on Patreon. I post sales and behind the scenes stuff over there as well. And as always, I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Right, Ziva? Take care of each other. Bye-bye.